Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Court Time Sports Center in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. My name's Nick Lendl alongside Joe Dombrowski, and tonight, it's Unbreakable, Joe.
It's unbreakable. It's unpredictable. There's such an opportunity for young talent to shine, and there's an opportunity for 6 former IWC champions to reascend to that throne. And the only way you can watch it 100% live, if you can't be here at the Court Time Sports Center in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania, is log on to IWCWrestling.com, click on that IPPV tab, and sign up for the IWC Network for only $9.99. Not only do you get to be on the ground floor of tonight's Unbreakable event, but the entire archive, years of IWC events. And we're going to be talking a lot tonight about our past, about Wardlow's ascent, and about the history that led to the champions in our ladder match main event coming here. You can relive so many of those moments right now on the IWC Network, but it all starts here tonight with Unbreakable, $9.99 at IWCWrestling.com. And what a lineup it's going to be. We are spanning the spectrum here.
And nothing is bigger than tonight's huge 6-man ladder match to crown the #1 contender to Jackson Argo's IWC World Heavyweight Championship. And as you said, Joe, this match is full of former IWC champions. Andrew Palace, Big League John McChesney, Jimmy Vegas, Jimmy Nuts, Rhino, and perhaps the most popular man in this entire company at the moment, the returning Jack Pollock.
Well, Jack Pollock's going to be the X factor in this matchup. What is the condition of a surgically repaired knee? Talk about going into the fire immediately. One of the most dangerous matches in professional wrestling. You've got the Extreme Original Rhino. You've got John McChesney, who'll do anything to win. You've got Jimmy Vegas, one of the most physically imposing. You've got the guts of Andrew Palace, the tenacity of Jimmy Nuts. Will Jack Pollock be able to physically hold up? We know the heart's there. We know the mind is willing, but is the body able? And the other factor there is that Jackson Argos has made it clear he'll be joining me on commentary for this event. Will that get inside Jack Pollock's head? But every athlete has their own motivation. This is Rhino's return to IWC after a several-year absence. Jimmy Nuts left this company with a knee surgery as IWC champion. He hurt his knee. He sacrificed. He worked for month on month on month. And when he finally won that championship, he had to call it a career. Jimmy Nuts is back and more focused than ever before. John McChesney's held that championship more cumulative days than anybody in history. And Vegas was the first ever 2-time champion. Everybody's got a motivation. Everybody's got reason to want this. Andrew Palace, some say he might still be IWC champion if it wasn't for the timing not working out and him running into the locomotive known as Wardlow. Everybody wants this. Who wants it more, and whose body can last? Anything can happen when there's 6 men, ladders aplenty, and a title shot at stake.
Well, you know, Joe, I was going to ask you, who do you think Jackson Argos wants to see win this match the least? But you know what? Now that I look at this lineup, I don't think Jackson Argos wants to see any of these men win this match tonight.
This is a no-win situation for Jackson Argos. Everybody's got an agenda. Everybody's got that desire to be back on top. And nobody likes Jackson Argos except for maybe RC Dupree. But Argos is going to have a tough time escaping whoever's willing to go this far to get a shot at him.
Well, speaking of Jackson Argos, he said tonight that we're going to be introduced to the newest member of Team Storm, so apparently somebody else likes him.
I'm very confused by that. I'm very intrigued by this because Jackson Argos and Dupree, they usually find their own corner of the locker room. They hang out amongst themselves. They don't have a lot of friends. They don't want a lot of friends. They enjoy living on that proverbial island. Hey, Lance Storm has trained a lot of very high-profile talents. A lot of high-profile talents have Canadian ties, have Pittsburgh ties. This could be anybody. I don't know. I don't think it's Jackson Argos' personality that's luring anybody in, but with maybe some cash and some promises, maybe everybody's got their price. We'll find out whose it is here tonight, if there is anybody. Maybe Argos is playing games with us too.
Well, you said at the top of the show here, Joe, that tonight might as well be changed from unbreakable to unpredictable, and that's what apparently is going to happen in this huge tag team match. The culmination is going to face Gory, but a little change to the lineup here.
Well, so much controversy came out of Cage Fury involving Gory and Atticus and Remy, and we saw Johnny Patch get caught up in the crossfire, so to speak, a lot of doubt and suspicion was put onto Gory that seems to have been put to rest. But the bottom line is, Gory, Atticus, and Remy are thick as thieves across this country. But in IWC, Gory has that personal pride. The place he grew up, he wants to do it on his own here. He wants to do it one-on-one here. And Atticus and Remy have never respected that. Gory, maybe ironically, forced to live up to that in very literal terms. Gory may be out completely on his own against a group that he helped create across this country, and this could be the end of the New Age Plague if the culmination have anything to say about it. It's join us or hit the bricks.
Well, Gannon Jones Jr. is not here tonight, but the other half of the current IWC Tag Team Champions, Duke Davis, is in the house tonight, and he will go one-on-one with Chris LaRusso.
It was a monumental moment in Wheeling, West Virginia. We went on the road and we crowned new tag team champions. Gannon Jones Jr. could not be here tonight due to a family emergency, but I do understand Justin Plummer's put the provisions in place to make sure the rest of the regulators are barred from ringside. We'll hopefully see this in a one-on-one environment because the main event has some big-time momentum to uphold, but the regulators would love to get the titles back intact. A win here could go a long way.
Well, of course, nothing bigger than the IWC World Heavyweight Championship, but that's not the only championship that we're going to be talking about tonight. The Super Indie Championship will be on the line tonight as Josh Alexander defends.
Josh Alexander will put the title on the line here tonight, and Johnny Patch has an opportunity of a lifetime. He's facing inarguably, his biggest challenge to date. He could step up, prove himself in a major way, or in the ring with an absolute wrestling machine, we could see the end of Johnny Patch if he's in over his head.
Well, you know, I feel like every month I'm saying into this camera, this is Johnny Patch's biggest match of his career, and they just keep happening.
Speaking of big matches, we talked about the longest reigning cumulative IWC champion in history. John McChesney, you have a chance to be back on top of the mountain tonight if you could survive the dangerous six-way ladder match.
I've been in plenty of ladder matches in my life, Mr. Dombrowski, and I plan on winning this one tonight. I've beaten Rhino before. I can do it again. I'm going to climb up there. I can see it from here. I'm going to grab that briefcase, and I'm going to kick Jackson Argos' ass all over this place and become the champ one more time.
There you have it. Big League John McChesney is focused. He's prepared, and he's just one of 6 entities that is ready for a night of a lifetime. They're ready to put all on the line tonight on the IWC Network, IWCWrestling.com, iPay-per-view tab. You can see this live as it happens, and anything can happen when IWC is LIVE live, Lendl.
Well, going back to that unpredictability factor, 2 matches that certainly have unpredictability. Is that even a word? I made it up if it's not. The Man-Dime Elijah Dean will go one-on-one with Paris Sahara, and then from there, Mambo Italiano faces the Lebanon Dawn. 2 huge Court Time Sports Center debuts here tonight at Unbreakable.
Yeah, it's about the IWC Young Talent Initiative that's always at play. We've seen these videos from the Lebanon Dawn time in and time out. Tonight, he has a chance to live up to the hype against Mambo Italiano. And as far as Paris Sahara, he's got a very difficult test against arguably the most prolific recent IWC training school graduate, but I have a feeling that Elijah Dean, the Man-Dime, may be showered in toilet paper. That could throw his game off if these fans have anything to say about it.
And then from there, Joe, something we don't see too often, it's an intergender match. Calvin Couture faces Katie Arquette.
Calvin and Katie have been inseparable for almost 3 years. It was one of the shockers of the year when LeBar pulled his coup, took the women's championship from Katie. It wound up on Raylin, and Calvin went with him. Calvin Couture butchered a friendship at that point, completely abandoned everything he had built with Katie Arquette. Now it's put up or shut up for the fashionista.
All kinds of action here tonight. In addition to the World Heavyweight Championship future being decided here tonight, the High Stakes Championship is on the line. RC Dupree defends against Dan Hooven. From there, Dylan Bostic goes one-on-one with Spencer Slade, another new graduate from the ICWA Academy. But we're not wasting any time, John, being told we're about to wrap it up here. In the free-for-all right here on Facebook Live, you're about to be treated to some tag team action as Keith Hott and the 5-Alarm Fire, the sexy fireman, Jason Tyler, team up to face Bulk Nasty and Xander Gabriel. Let's send it to Dave Kitch in the ring. My name's Ben Nick Lendl alongside Joe Dombrowski. We'll see you for Unbreakable.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live for the Facebook Free-for-All. It is a tag team attraction action scheduled for one fall.
All right, Facebook free-for-all rolls on with in-ring competition, tag team action on tap in just a heartbeat. And the world's angriest wrestler brings in his best friend.
Introducing team number 1. First, from the Zender Zone, he has a credit score rating of 290, Zender Gabriel.
290 is not that good, is it?
And his tag team partner, from wherever the hell he damn well pleases, weighing in at 290 pounds, the Girthquake, Bulk Nasty.
Well, hello from ringside, everybody.
Together, they are known as Steak and Eggs.
Well, that's a new one for me. At ringside, my name is Joe Dombrowski, joined this week by Marcus Mann. Marcus, we're just moments away from going live, IWC Unbreakable, at the top of the hour on the IWC Wrestling Network, and we're not going to waste any time.
Opponents, first, from where the wild things are, he weighed in at 238 pounds, the Bearcat, Keith Hart.
Marcus, welcome to IWC.
Thank you so much, Joe. Excited to be here. Keith Hart excited to be here too. Facebook free-for-all, but you talked about huge night tonight here at IWC. On the IWC Network, we're going to have a huge night of action, and we got a huge opponents in there with Bulk Nasty and Xander Gabriel.
Absolutely. 3 titles to be decided here tonight. But before things get serious, it's going to get a little sexy.
And his tag team partner from North Irwin, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 325 pounds, he is the sexy fireman, Jason Tyler.
Well, Marcus, they always say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and Keith Hart and the 5-alarm fire, Jason Tyler, may not necessarily make a lot of calendar shoot covers, but they got their own unique version of sexy that has really captivated many IWC crowds over the years.
Yeah, their own version. I mean, almost a little too hot for the IWC Network. We got to get them live here as well.
Too hot, H-A-U-G-H-T?
Yeah, well, we'll do some puns early, and then throughout the night goes. We'll see how they go.
And this is first-time tag team, Keith Hart and Jason Tyler, and there is going to be a question as far as how much chemistry they're going to have. There's no chemistry on the other side of the aisle there with Xander Gabriel and Bulk Nasty. Xander keeps following Bulk around, trying to go work out with him, trying to hang out with him. Bulk doesn't like people. He doesn't like people at all. He's the world's angriest wrestler. He's a walking bad mood. And Xander around pulling at his pant leg and trying to get attention is only making it worse.
Well, it's only making it worse for Bulk Nasty. But Xander Gabriel, an accomplished trainee here at the IWC Academy. The Xander Zone has swept the nation, Joe. I don't know if you follow him on Facebook, the Xander Zone, where he talks about his strategy with Bulk Nasty. I think they're going to finally come together. They're undefeated so far.
Yeah, Xander's living in the Xander Zone right now, for better or worse. But who's going to be defeated and who's going to be able to survive when we have 6 men enter a ladder match later tonight for an IWC Championship opportunity when Andrew Palace, John McChesney, Jimmy Vegas, Jimmy Nuts, Rhino, and Jack Pollock collide. These are all former champions and all men who have nothing to lose, everything to gain in this type of environment. This will be a dangerous altercation.
Yeah, one of the most dangerous altercations when you get a ladder involved, and all 6 men vying for that World Heavyweight Championship, that one of the most prestigious titles, and everyone having their eyes on the champion Jackson Argos as well.
Well, Xander has his eyes on the back of his tights, the same tights he just dug his hand in for a little bit of insult to injury that time, but Keith Hott not going to be intimidated. We are going to go live on IWC's network immediately following this matchup, and Keith just shoved Xander's own hand into Xander's mouth. Keith, a bit of a step ahead of the mind games, but you got to wonder, is Duke Davis a step ahead of the regulator mind games tonight? Gannon Jones Jr. is not here. It's one-on-one, Duke Davis and Chris LaRusso. I know the regulators are in attendance, but from what I understand, they will not be welcomed at ringside.
Yeah, I did see the regulators backstage, so they are in attendance here this evening. Duke Davis going it alone, one half of the IWC Tag Team Champions. That's always a interesting matchup when you see a tag team wrestler going it alone, not with his normal tag team partner. Chris LaRusso, as you said, just recently the regulators in the main event had that wonderful match down at the Wheeling Island Casino. The titles switched there. Things are coming to a head. I am very excited to see what Duke Davis can do as a singles wrestler tonight.
I'm excited to see this power-on-power demonstration as Bulk Nasty flexing his girthquakeness on Jason Tyler.
And this is what Bulk Nasty does well. You don't want to mess with a man as large as Bulk Nasty. Once he's in there, it seems like the structure of the match just changes completely.
Bulk is not amused by a sexy fireman, that's for sure. Kalanobo tie-up. Josh Alexander is one man who's not been amused by a lot of athletes here in IWC. And tonight, a test of a lifetime against for Johnny Patch, I should say. But the reason Patch has that opportunity is another reason you got to watch live, because we say goodbye to arguably the greatest champion in IWC history. The man with war in his name, Wardlow, makes his final IWC appearance before he goes all elite Wednesday nights on TNT. And Wardlow's meant so much to the fabric of the International Wrestling Cartel, and these fans have adopted him as their own over this time. I can't wait to see and hear, as Tyler with another great back suplex on 290 of Bulk Nasty, I can't wait to see and hear how Wardlow will address, for the final time, his home.
Yeah, it's always tough to say goodbye to someone who has been as important to IWC as Wardlow, but for one of the best of reasons. As we see Tyler and Bulk Nasty going at it, two hosses in the ring, but there was no hoss quite like Wardlow here at IWC.
And who's going to be the third guy? Who is going to join Team Storm? Jackson Argos and RC Dupree are promising a brand new member of the group. I don't have any hot news on who that might be. I didn't know Argos had any other friends or anybody that would tolerate him. But at this point in time, Argos is making that promise. Is this another Team Storm mind game, or do they have somebody in tow that we don't know about?
Yeah, Team Storm, one of the best at mind games. I tried to talk to Jackson Argos, and you know how it is when you try to talk to Jackson Argos. He pontificates. He does his thing. But I got no information as well, Joe. I'm excited to see who could it be. Is it a Lance Storm trainee? Who knows who could it be?
There's a lot of athletes with ties to Canada, ties to Pittsburgh, and we'll have to wait and see. Keith Hott now tagged in, and Keith Hott unloads with the strikes. Open hand shots to Bulk, and Bulk is trying to absorb those shots as best he can. And admire the gumption, the guts of Keith Hott standing up to Bulk Nasty. That's always been a staple of Keith Hott's offense.
Exactly, and Keith Hott is one of those guys with those precision strikes to Bulk Nasty's chest. He's a lot tougher than people give Keith Hott credit for. He's a resilient athlete.
Absolutely true. We've seen Keith Hott align with a lot of tag team partners in the past that have not shaken out too well, and we see one alliance that will implode here tonight with Calvin Couture and Katie Arquette. They'll go one-on-one, a very rare intergender matchup. I was stunned to see Calvin Couture turn his back on Katie Arquette's side with Justin LeBar and Ray Lynn on that women's championship coup.
Yeah, Calvin Couture keeps saying that he was held back by Katie Arquette. He didn't want to be part of just the entourage, that he wanted to shine. He's going to get a huge opportunity tonight to shine here at court time.
Yeah, Bulk Nasty controlling Keith Hott once again. And I don't think Bulk Nasty has any tag team aspirations to my knowledge, but you talked about the fact that Bulk and Xander have found success. I think it's unwilling success in the eyes of Bulk, and maybe inadvertent success, but you can't argue with success. Do you think there may be some long-term future for Bulk and Xander if they can be successful tonight?
Well, success is what Bulk Nasty wants. Bulk Nasty wants to beat up people win matches, and make money. And if Bulk Nasty can drag Xander Gabriel to a tag team title opportunity, become tag team champion, make some a little more scratch in the process, I think Bulk Nasty is ready to be a tag team champion.
What about the high stakes championship? Bulk's held that in the past, but Dan Hooven finally apparently gets his shot at RC Dupree. Does RC have another trick up his sleeve, or will the South Philadelphia born and raised Dan Hooven find a way to get a fair opportunity at a title that he's longed for?
Yeah, the high-stakes champion always defined the title. Different rules, different regulations over its history, different attitudes. RC Dupree has defined that title for almost a record amount of time. RC looking to become the longest reigning high-stakes champion in IWC history.
Yeah, about 10 days away, but right now, Xander Gabriel may take 10 days for Bolt to get this powerbomb off. Xander distracting, but was he trying to teach him to pose? What was he doing?
I think he was, and now Xander's getting in there. This is a big mistake.
I guess Xander trying to teach Bulk some showmanship that comes with Xander's talk show host capabilities, but now it's the fireman. It's hot, firing away with some jabs.
Yeah, great strategy, tag team strategy. That's how you have to beat Bulk Nasty. It's going to take two men in contention with each other to get Bulk Nasty down.
And we are flip-flopping and flying all over this ring here in the IWC Facebook free-for-all. And Keith Hart's heading in with a splash.
That's a lot of weight flying into that corner.
And now it could be time for a sexier splash. No. Xander steps in the way of the motorboat.
What a great friend, Joe. What a great friend Xander Gabriel is.
Oh, Xander was all up in there. And now, after taking the hit for Bulk receiving of a short arm clothesline, Xander's trying to prove himself to Bulk, but Bulk, he may be the victim here. Short cross body, shoulder up.
I am very, very impressed with Keith Hott and Jason Tyler coming together as a tag team. You know, if they can beat an undefeated tag team and Bulk Nasty and Xander Gabriel, that's got to fly them up the rankings.
Very well could, and certainly the regulators, the main event, will be paying attention to all of the potential contenders as they work out their issues a little bit later on tonight, or at least attempt to. Sexy Fireman. Oh, Bulk got pushed out of harm's way by Xander.
Yeah, but I also think that was a tag as well.
I think it was. I think you're right. What is this? Xander looking for... Xander mocking Bulk Nasty.
I think he's trying to show him how to do it.
And Bulk's had enough of this. Learn how to fight. Shoulder block. Sexy Fireman down. Keith Hawk gets involved. Goodbye, Keith. I think Bulk Nasty's had enough.
Yeah, when Bulk Nasty's had enough, this is what happens.
Good grief. Tyler's about 330. And Xander's saying don't pin him. But Xander's still legal, right? And Bulk's had enough of Xander. Bulk going to get rid of his problem. Xander hurled on top of Tyler. Wait a minute, Xander's on top. Xander just pinned the 5-alarm fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winners, the team of Bulk Nasty and Xander Gabriel.
Bulk did it. I don't even think Bulk meant to do it.
That's how good Bulk Nasty is right now. He's winning matches he didn't even intend to win at the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of this contest, the team of Bulk Nasty and Bulk Nasty.
That's how Bulk likes to hear it, yeah. Bulk doesn't think that Xander really added anything to this matchup, and I think we're just two different ends of the same spectrum here. I don't know if Bulk and Xander are ever going to really get along. What about you?
No, I don't. As long as they keep winning, I think Bulk Nasty likes to keep collecting those paychecks, the winner's share of the purse. So I don't think he needs to get along with Xander Gabriel as long as the money keeps flowing into Bulk Nasty's pocket.
Well, winning is going to be the name of the game here later on tonight. 6-way ladder match, IWC Championship shot hangs in the balance. We've got Josh Alexander defending the Super 80 Championship against Johnny Patch, who's the third member of Team Storm. We say goodbye to Wardlow and so much more. It goes live in just moments. IWCWrestling.com, the IWC Network. Be a part of Unbreakable live as it happens.